with this graph, let's talk about the demand and supply of labor. When we're talking about the demand and supply of labor, the cost of labor is called the wage. So we're looking at the wage rate in this example. Okay, so the demand for labor are going to be firms that are willing and able to hire people. So the demand for labor are firms wanting to hire people. At high wages, we don't want to hire that many, but at low wages, we'd be more than happy to hire people. Okay, so we have a downward sloping demand for labor. Now the supply of labor, that's us. Okay, what would we be willing and able to supply our hours at what wage? Okay, at low wages, we don't want to get out of bed, so our supply of labor is not going to be very high. As the wage increases, we are more and more willing to work. So the supply of labor curve is going to be upward sloping. So if we were to look at this and we want to know what is the equilibrium wage and quantity of hours worked, we're just going to find the intersection between the demand and supply curve. So the equilibrium wage, where these two intersect, is going to be $6. And the equilibrium quantity of hours worked is going to be this 40. So the quantity of hours is going to be 40. And this is talking about millions of hours. We'll just say 40. Okay? Now let's say that the government comes in and says, let's institute a minimum wage. What a minimum wage is what's called a price floor. A price floor says we're not able to charge any less than that. We can't pay any less than $9. So we have a floor. We can't go any lower than that. Okay? So at this higher wage, what's going to happen is now our quantity supplied, okay, so we'll say with a minimum wage of $9, okay, the firms are less willing to hire labor. Okay, at higher wages, we don't want to hire as much labor. So our quantity demanded of labor, that's the firms, the quantity demanded is going to be 30 hours or 30 million hours. Okay, but at $9 an hour, boy, we want to work more because we're getting more income. So we're going to say our quantity supplied of labor now is going to be 50 hours. Okay, our quantity supply is going to be found here. Okay, that's 50 hours. Okay, so now our quantity supplied is greater than our quantity demanded. Okay, so our 50 is greater than the 30. We want to work 50 hours. They only want to hire 30 hours worth. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have unemployment of the difference here. So 50 minus 30, our unemployment is going to be 20. Because we want to work 50 hours, but they only want us to work 30. So we have 20 hours that are now unemployed. Okay? Now, what if the government set a minimum wage of $3? Okay, a minimum wage of $3 is going to be ineffectual. It's not going to have any impact on the market at all because we're going to end up here. So a minimum wage or a price floor set below the equilibrium will have no impact on the market whatsoever. In order for it to be effective, it has to be set above equilibrium. Okay, so we can see when we have a minimum wage set above equilibrium, we're going to end up with hours unemployed.